Shalom, shalom, Yasharala. I hope all is well. Just tell you, just to share with you a little bit of what I've seen and thought about today. I went on Facebook and I saw this post right here by this amazing young sister who diligently reads, apparently, and is constantly engaged with people regarding the word of the Most High. Before I seen this, I was thinking, like, what else can I do? What other scripture can I show these people? That will show them, that will tell them what he's been showing us regarding the land. And this is the thought I had after I asked myself that question. This thought came to mind, and it's one that I often have. It was, no one seems to care. No one sees it. And like I sometimes I feel hopeless, like not hopeless to the point where I'm going to give up, but it's like what do I do, you know? And then I seen this post right here where it says someone said we have another 3.5 years for the second beast. And look at the comments she got. She every post of hers damn near is just, you know, highly trafficked. And I went through there and I even put a comment that no one has paid any mind to. And if you look on Facebook or if you're around people talking about these sort of things, you'll see that the conversation is, it's broad, but they're having it. People are having this conversation, and there's all kinds of theories. There's all sorts of different theories on who's who and what's what. And so I got thinking, I was like, I read from Luke chapter 17 last night, chapter 17. I've read from Matthew chapter 24, and so I said, I'm just going to go and I'm going to get the context. I read Matthew chapter 24, and it talks about the city in there, all the stuff we've been talking about. I said, so I'm just going to go chapter 2 on whatever side, either the front or the back side of Matthew 24, and to test it, to see if it really is all over the place. And I'm just going to read a little bit of chapter 22 here, and you tell me. This is just more evidence to what the Most High has been showing us. Verse 1, and Yahusha responded and spoke to them again by parables and said, the reign of the heavens is like a man, a sovereign, who made a wedding feast for his son, and sent out his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding feast, but they would not come. Again, he sent out other servants, saying, Say to those who are invited, see, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and fattened cattle are slaughtered, and all is ready. Come to the wedding feast. But they disregarded it and went their way. This one to his field, that one to his trade. And the rest, having seized his servants, insulted and killed them. But when the sovereign heard, he was wroth and sent out his soldiers, destroyed those murderers, and set their city on fire. Like, I'm just going to pause right there. I didn't plan on pausing right there, but I just want to pause right there. I've read so much and shown so much that the Most High has shown me. It's got nothing to do with me. I just feel guilty that I'm not relaying the memo. So I'm just sharing what he shows me. And I really wonder how many of you who will watch this will know the significance to him saying to set their city on fire. I wonder how many of you will even know what that means, or if you're like most and you see no significance in it. You know, I could put a post on Facebook. I used to get a lot of traffic to my post. I used to make posts that got the people talking, you know, and it sparked intrigue in the masses, but not anymore. The things I talk about, very few want to talk about it. And I guess I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep going. But I hope every time that I hit the record button that I can say something or do something to get someone to at least comment and say, so why is that saying that? Can you show me? And we can have a conversation and we can get back to the way my post and stuff used to do. Get back, or get to a point to where we can look at it together. I'm not trying to like tell every one of y'all what to think. I'm showing you what I'm seeing, and then I'm hoping that some, a lot, whatever, people will come and be like, so what is that? So what are you saying? So let's look at this together. So what does this actually say? And then we can read it together, and the truth will be laid out for us. But it doesn't happen. Verse 8, then he said to his servants, the wedding feast indeed is ready, but those who were invited were not worthy. Therefore go into the street corners, and as many as you find, invite to the wedding feast. After I seen this today, I'm honestly thinking about doing that. Like literally going to the street corners and talking to people, to LGBTQ people, whoever will listen. It doesn't matter who you are. What matters is if you want to live or not. And those servants went out into the street corners and gathered all whom they found, both wicked and good. And the wedding hall was filled with guests. And when the sovereign came in to view the guest, he saw there a man who had not put on a wedding garment. That is huge. Just the phrase wedding garment. Like I said in the last video, a lot of people say that they're on their way to the wedding supper of the Lamb. But most don't even realize what that even means. And if you don't know what it means, you're not going to have your garments on, prepared for the wedding. And he said to him, "Friend, how do you come in here not having a wedding garment?" And he was speechless. Then the sovereign said to the servants, bind him hand and foot, take him away, and throw him out into the outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. Now, if you go to chapter 23, I'm not going to read all this, but trust me when I tell you, or go do your own due diligent research, read this, and you'll see that it's all related. But I want to get to the things that I hope that will catch your eye. But if something does catch your eye, and you see that that's what this is talking about, if you go back and read the context, baby, all these other matters that the Messiah is talking about, you'll see that it's all related. But he says right here, verse 16, "Woe to you blind guides who say, whoever swears by the dwelling place, it does not matter, but whoever swears by the gold of the dwelling place is bound by oath. Woe to you, fools and blind, for which is greater, the gold or the dwelling place that sets the gold apart?" Now, Mishpachah, you should know that gold he's referring to people refined like gold. What are we without our set apart place, our dwelling place? If the dwelling place didn't matter, I've said this so many times and I'll say it again, if it didn't matter, why did the Most High go through all he went through to bring them out of Egypt back in the day? To give them, to cause them, to make them come and defeat all these other nations. Lead them by a pillar of fire at night and a cloud by day. Why did he do all those things? To bring them into the land he swore to give to their fathers. Why did he do that if it don't matter today? No one, I repeat, no one, to my knowledge that I can see, is giving a damn about the dwelling place. They say it does not matter. Just make yourselves right. Follow the commands. Guard the commands. Understand who the Messiah is, which all those things are necessary, yes. But equally so is the set apart place. And we all have to go and find it and return there. Otherwise, all this word I've been reading that's in his word will be for no purpose. Don't be the type of person who makes the word of the Most High serve no purpose. It all has purpose. And whoever swears by the slaughter place, it does not matter. But whoever swears by the gift that is on it is bound by oath. Fools and blind, for which is greater, the gift or the slaughter place that sets the gift apart? He then who swears by the slaughter place swears by it and by all that is upon it. And he who swears by the dwelling place swears by it and by him who is dwelling in it. You've seen, we read it, I think it was in Isaiah. He said, whoever swears by the earth shall be blessed. You have to be doing this. And if you go try and prove me wrong. You can't. The wedding supper is exactly what the Most High has shown us. It's why we read last night. It's why the Messiah said that parable when he said, When he talked about the servants and the plowmen, the shepherds, doing what he told, doing what the master told them, but not preparing for the supper, the wedding. It doesn't matter, and you're going to see. Right here, he says, woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you tithe the mint and the anise and the cumin, and have neglected the weightier matters of the Torah, the right ruling and the compassion and the belief. Remember the belief. The Messiah broke it down, told us what the belief was. It was, who will he find having belief when he comes back regarding the set-apart place? He says, these need to have been done without neglecting the others. The set-apart place, the dwelling place, it does matter, and you can't neglect it, just like you can't neglect the others. Blind guides, straining out a gnat and swallowing a camel. Everyone is working out all these other matters, which are good, but at the same time, they're overlooking the set apart place. Their belief, everyone's talking about all these other lies that the world, that the enemy has given to people and caused people to believe, hook, line, and sinker. But the biggest one, everyone is ignoring. Just like if you read all this, like he says, you build up the tombs of the prophets and decorate the monuments of the righteous, and say, if we had lived in the days of our fathers, we would not have taken part with them in the blood of the prophets. I know there's lots of people like that. They probably say, if Jeremiah would have came to me, if I'd have been there in that time, I would have agreed with him. I wouldn't have killed him, or Isaiah, or Ezekiel, or Yahusha. And I'm here to tell you, I've been telling you, everything damn near that came out of them men's mouth was the secret of the Most High, was that you have to return to Jerusalem, that there's an escape in Jerusalem. Go through and read it all. And you can pick any one of the prophets, and they got killed for the same reasons. But I picked Habakkuk right here. Let's read chapter 2. And don't get it twisted. Chapter 1 and chapter 3 is about the same thing. But like I said a minute ago, I want to try to keep this short for you guys who have a short attention span. I do this most importantly for the honor, to give all honor, all praise, all glory, and all esteem to Abba Yahuwah, the Most High, off my face. He's our wonderful creator, our righteousness. Abba Yahuwah is his name. I do it for that, numeral uno. But at the same time, I do it because I love y'all, and I hope that you guys can see this, and that you're not mocking and scoffing it like those Sadducees, Pharisees, and those people do and have done. But because I want to keep it short and sweet, because I'm trying to like wave it in front of your face, and hopefully you're like, oh, there it is. And you guys wake up and realize, because this should be the number one thing being talked about right now, especially amongst all of us who have came out of all the lies that they still talk about. That's over and done with. We don't need to talk anymore and debate whether or not the Torah is valid. We all should know it's valid. We all should know that Messiah's name is Yahusha and not Hail Zeus, and that he is not the Father, he's the Son. And the Most High's name is Yahuwah and not L-O-R-D or G-O-D. We should all have been moved past that. We've been learning this for years. Now, it's regarding the wedding supper. We should be, and the fact that most people, that no one is talking about it, just it lets me know that no one really is reading the word of the Most High. And if they are, they're picking and choosing. But listen right here, what Habakkuk chapter 2 says. And I stand at my watch and station myself on the watchtower and wait to see what he says to me and what to answer when I am reproved. And Yahuwah answered me and said, write the vision and inscribe it on tablets so that he who reads it runs. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, and it speaks of the end time, and it does not lie. If it lingers, wait for it shall certainly come, it shall not delay. See, he whose being is not upright in him is puffed up, but the righteous one lives by his steadfastness. And also, because wine betrays him, a man is proud, and he does not stay at home. Because he enlarges his appetite at Sheol, and he is like death, and is not satisfied, and gathers to himself all nations, and heaps up for himself all peoples. Shall not all these lift up a proverb against him, and a mocking riddle against him, and say, woe to him who increases what is not his? Till when is he to load on himself many pledges? Do not your creditors rise up suddenly, and those who make you tremble wake up, and you be plunder for them? Because you have plundered many nations. All the remnant of the people shall plunder you, because of men's blood and doing violence to the land. To the city and to all who dwell in it, woe to him who is getting evil gain for his house in order to set his nest on high, to escape the clutches of evil. You have counseled shame for your house, to cut off many peoples, and your being is sinning. For a stone from the wall cries out, and a beam from the timbers answers it. Woe to him who builds a town by blood and establishes a city by unrighteousness. Now remember, in the beginning of this chapter, it says this is for the time of the end, the vision. Okay? If you don't think this is taught, that the Most High is trying to get you to see something about a city, about a house, about a place, if you don't get that, then what you're saying is, maybe not out your lips, but with your actions, you're saying, yeah, the Most High did say that this was the vision for the end, but I don't care. It ain't nothing. This over here, what we're talking about, is more important. We don't really need to think about a city established by unrighteousness. Nah, it's no big deal. You keep thinking that, I'm going to continue to proclaim the truth about it all. And I know Abba's word does not return unto him void. There will be people who will show up to the wedding supper, but guess what? There's going to be a lot of y'all who will be gnawing and gnashing your teeth. And that's what I'm trying to, I'm putting out effort to try and avoid for a lot of y'all, but it's no use, because it's just like all the surrounding scripture, just like Messiah had been saying, the one who exalts himself shall be humbled. It's just plain and simple. See, it is not from Yahuwah of hosts that peoples labor only for fire, and nations weary themselves for naught. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the esteem of Yahuwah, as the waters cover the sea. Woe to him who gives drink to his neighbor, pouring out your wineskin, and also making him drunk in order to look on their nakedness. You shall be filled with shame instead of esteem. Drink you too, and be exposed as uncircumcised. Be exposed. The cup of the right hand of Yahuwah shall come around you, and great shame upon your esteem. For the violence done to Lebanon is to overwhelm you. It's to overwhelm you. And the ravaging of beasts by which you made them afraid, because of men's blood and the violence to the land, to the city and to all who dwell in it. Of what use shall a carved image be? Pay attention. There's a reason he's saying this. He's talking about a city and a land and all the violence done to it. And then notice the next thing he starts talking about, which is the same thing, but if you ain't paying attention, you won't realize that. And this is confirmation. If you didn't believe that the image of the beast is the state of Israel and the fake town of Jerusalem, if you didn't know that, if you don't believe that, this right here confirms that. That's why he goes right into this. He says, of what use shall a carved image be? For its maker has carved it, a molded image and teacher of falsehood. For the maker trusts what he has made to make dumb idols. Woe to him who says to wood, awake, to silent stone, arise. Is it a teacher? See, it is overlaid with gold and silver, and there is no spirit at all inside it. But now, notice what he says next regarding that. But Yahuwah is in his set-apart Hakal, set-apart place, set-apart mountain, Yarushalim. That's what the Hakal means, the dwelling place, the slaughter place. Let all the earth be silent before him. Now, if you go back to Luke, you can get all the context you want of Luke. Let's look at Luke chapter 13, verse 23. Let's see what it says. And someone said to him, Master, are there few who are being saved? And he said to them, strive to enter through the narrow gate, because many, I say to you, shall seek to enter in and shall not be able. If they seek to enter in, why can't they come in? I mean, if they're trying to get in, or are they trying to come up another way? When once the master of the house has risen up and shut the door, and you begin to stand outside and knock at the door, saying, Master, Master, open for us. And he shall answer and say to you, I do not know you, where you are from. I don't know where you're from. I don't know who you are. You ain't come here looking for the city. You ain't give a damn about this city. You ain't give a rat's ass about it, about the wedding supper. The wedding supper to you is a figment of your imagination. When I sent servants to you and they spoke these trustworthy and true words to you coming from my mouth, you paid no mind to them. You mocked and you scoffed them. You are people who like to say that if you would have been in the time of the prophets, that you wouldn't have treated them the way that the people treated them back then. But you're no worse. You're no better. You're worse. I sent you servants now, and I've tried to tell you that the wedding supper is ready, and you pay it no mind. No mind. And you shall begin to say, we ate and drank in your presence, and you taught in our streets. But he shall say, I say to you, I do not know you, where you are from. Depart from me, all you workers of unrighteousness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth when you see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all the prophets in the reign of the Most High, and yourselves thrown outside with the dogs. And they shall come from the east and the west, and from the north and the south, and sit down in the reign of the Most High. They shall come. They're not going to just wake up. They shall come. And see, there are last who shall be first, and there are first who shall be last. Now, go to 14, verse 16. But he said to him, a certain man gave a great supper and invited many. Y'all have all been invited, but this is what you're doing. And he sent his servant at supper time to say to those who were invited, come, for all is now ready. But one by one, they all began making excuses. The first said to him, I have bought a field, and I need to go and see it. I asked you to have me excused from the wedding supper. And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I am going to try them out. I asked you to have me excused. And another said, I have married a wife, and because of this I am unable to come. And the servant came and reported this to the master. Then the master of the house, being wroth, said to his servant, Hurry out into the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in here the poor and crippled and lame and blind. And the servant said, Master, it is done as you commanded, and still there is room. And the master said to the servant, Go out into the streets, corner hedges, and compel them to come in, so that my house is filled. For I say to you that none of those men who were invited shall taste my supper. Why? Because he don't want you to taste the supper? No, because you refused. You made excuses. You come up with all kinds of bullshit. You didn't care. You said the dwelling place does not matter. Yahuwah, great is Yahuwah, and greatly to be praised in the city of our Most High, his set-apart mountain. Beautiful on high, the joy of all the earth is Mount Sion on the sides of the north, the city of the great sovereign. The Most High is in her citadels. He is known as her refuge. For look, the sovereigns met. They passed by together. They saw, so they marveled. They were alarmed. They hastened away. Trembling took hold of them, pain as of a woman in labor. With an east wind you break the ships of Tarshish. As we have heard, so we have seen in the city of Yahuwah of hosts. In the city of our mighty Most High establishes her forever, Salah. We have thought, O my Most High, of your loving commitment in the midst of your Hakal. According to your name, O my mighty Most High, so is your praise to the ends of the earth. Your right hand is filled with righteousness. Let Mount Sion rejoice. Let the daughters of Yehuda exalt because of your right rulings. Walk about Zion and go all around her. Count her towers. Set your heart upon her rampart. Go through her citadels so that you report it to the coming generation. For the Most High is our Most High forever and ever. He himself leads us, even to death. He leads us to the wedding supper. And if you, although you were invited, refuse and make excuses, he's going to lead you to outside the city where the winepress of the fierceness of his wrath is, where the dogs are that lick your sores. He leads us either way. But if you refuse to be led to the wedding supper, like the 144,000, he's not going to force you. He'll lead you to outside the city, to where you and anyone else who wants to go there will perish, will gnaw and gnash your teeth. You're going to be screaming and crying, bitching and complaining, and there'll be nothing you can do because the door will be shut. Abba Yahuwah is he's someone of right ruling, of justice. The door's open. He's invited you. He's saying, come in. But because of your stubbornness, your hard-headedness, your self-exalting, you've refused to come in. He's not going to force you. Hopefully this one will grab your attention. If not, meet me back here next time, because it's going to never stop until those doors have shut. And they're not shut right now. Peace out.